Tired of screwing up, tired of going down, tired of myself, tired of this town.
Eminent Waste of Time, episode 42. I'm Doug.
And I'm Chad.
And as we all know from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, 42 is the answer to life, universe, and everything.
It is.
So if you don't know where you're going or what you're headed or what you're doing, just listen to this podcast and all of your answers.
42.
42.
There's roads around here that are that.
Yes. You live close to one. Of course, you live on 142, which means you do not have the answers.
You're telling all the stalkers where I live, Doug.
1049.
It wouldn't be all that hard to find me. It really wouldn't.
So today I stood up for justice, truth, justice, and the American way.
Yeah.
Well, not really. I just stood up for people trying to extort money out of me.
Did you punch Hitler or something?
I wanted to. Of course, he's been dead since 1945.
Hitler, like, statue or something like that.
He actually committed suicide on my birthday. Well, not in 1980, but same day, but in 1945.
He knew it was coming.
He didn't want to be around for it.
That's the day Chuck Norris was born. You know that?
What, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hitler died the day Chuck Norris was born.
Because
he knew what was coming. He knew.
That's awesome. I didn't know we shared a birthday.
Oh, I guess you do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there we go. My day's that much better already.
Anyway, back to justice and whatnots.
No, it was just one of those days where I was kind of talking about this earlier, but everybody wanted to extort some sort of money out of me. Verizon was trying to hit me with an early termination fee I didn't owe. That's been a long-standing battle that I finally won. They've admitted they were wrong, and they're going to reverse the charges. But it's taken... this all started in October of 2017.
Yep.
So it's been a while, but I was right, and it really is kind of a principle of the thing type of thing, because the dollar amount is nothing that's going to change my family's life. I just refused.
You can give me that dollar amount.
And no, I wouldn't give it to them. Why would I give it to you?
Because you like me.
So anyways, the other thing that happened was took my wife's truck in. You guys have been following the podcast, kind of know the saga with that. Finally got the whole truck back together, took it in, and mysteriously, that rear control arm that I didn't replace,
that they said was bad,
was perfectly fine, and they aligned the truck without issue.
Yeah, what do you know?
So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, because it was the upper control arm on the driver's side, but it was the front one, not the rear.
Yep.
And it was legitimately bad. I mean, I verified that myself. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but I always am going to wonder, if I hadn't said anything or done the work myself, would they have replaced the rear one and then gone, oops, your front one's bad too?
Yeah, and you need to replace that.
Yes. Yes, the answer is probably yes. So
that's my bet.
I'm feeling pretty good about myself.
You got stuff done.
I got stuff done. Beat some heads.
Yep. Was the mob after you? Were they threatening to break your fingers?
No, but I did have, because of that whole Verizon mess, I got turned into a collection agency, and they actually called my desk phone at work yesterday, which really ticked me off. And that just kind of escalated the whole pressure on Verizon, and they finally caved.
Yep.
So it's really going to end up being a moral victory, because it shredded my credit. It's done. Not that I mean, I'm still better than most people are, which is sad, but I'm going to have to work with Verizon now to get it expunged from my credit report, because it shows as a collection. Like, there's all this crap, but I didn't give them their money.
It's what counts, right?
Yeah,
I won.
Moral victory, moron victory. I don't know. I don't know which one it is.
We were kind of talking about hard-headedness right before we started.
Yeah, you've got me beat. So my Verizon battle has nothing on. Just go ahead. It's not a stupid stuff with Chad. It's a hard-headed stuff with Chad, which is a segment we don't have, which means you can do it now.
Okay. So the story of it is, and my wife was telling Doug about this, when I don't know how old I was. I don't
19.
remember. No, I was not.
21.
No, I was much younger than that.
17.
No.
Okay.
I was somewhere around like the 3 to 5 to 7, I don't know, somewhere in that range. But I'm a hard-headed person.
Yes, you are.
Legitimately very hard-headed. And I don't like green beans. Don't ask me why I don't like them. I just don't like them. So my mom had made green beans for dinner, and she had put green beans on my plate, and I was supposed to be eating the green beans. I refused to eat the green beans. Just absolutely refused.
That's right. You stick it to the man or the woman in this case.
Yeah. Well, I just don't like them, so I wasn't going to eat them. So my parents are believers of, spanking your children. I have no problem with that. I am the same as well. So, like it or don't like it, don't really care. But anyway, so my mom starts spanking me because I'm not listening to her and I'm not eating the green beans that I'm supposed to be eating. 3 hours later, she's still spanking me. This is from her. She'll tell you it's 3 hours.
3 hours?
3 hours. I'm crying. She's crying. My sister's crying. My dad's crying. My grandpa, who was there, was crying. Everybody's crying because I won't eat the green beans.
Were they crying with laughter?
No. They were crying because they felt bad because I was being beat because I wouldn't eat the green beans. And they were like, my grandpa was saying, I'll just eat the green beans. And they're like, no, you're not eating them. He's eating them. End of the story is I never did eat the green beans. And my mom will tell you I ended up like winning that battle. And, that just proves how hard-headed I am, I guess.
I think after a certain point, you just resign yourself to the level of pain of a spanking really legitimately isn't that bad. It's more the scare factor. I mean, you're being beaten with a spoon, but I've seen you take worse than that and still laugh. So
yes.
I think once you've kind of resigned yourself to, I'm not doing this, then that's it.
Yep. That was it. 3 hours. I was winning.
I'd say I'm proud of you, but I'm really not. It's kind of funny, though. That mixes with everything I know about you.
Yeah.
I'm not as hard-headed, but again, this couple examples today of just, no, that's not how it's going to be.
Yep, that was me at a young age even. So,
which is amazing, honestly, that we get along really well. But I guess it's because we see eye to eye more often than not that we just don't butt heads, because it would just be...
I don't think I'm amazingly hard to get along with. I'm not difficult towards other people usually.
No.
I'm just... if you're doing something that I don't agree with or I don't like, whatever, do your thing. I'm,
you're not
as long as it doesn't affect me, I'm good.
Yeah.
And if it does, I'll just take myself out of the situation or whatever, if that's the case.
Kind of like this podcast.
Yep. You don't like it? Turn it off.
We'll do it anyways.
I might just turn it up louder in my truck if you're next to me, so you have to hear it. Oh, no, that's not right.
No, I like that plan. So we got a whole bunch of stuff on the docket.
Oh, there's always too much on there.
Yeah, we've got a race this weekend, MWXC, and it's a ways from home. So we are going to, I'm going to be camping out.
Yeah.
I don't know that you are.
I don't think I will be. I'm going to talk to the wife after we get done recording and see what she's got going, because it may make more sense for me to camp Friday night, because it's an hour and a half from here drive.
Oh, easy, yeah.
And if I need to be up there by roughly 6:30 or 7 in the morning, I have to leave here by about 5 or 5:30 in the morning.
Yep.
And that's fine. I can do that. It's not the end of the world for me, but it's a lot easier to just camp.
Yeah, my plan is, honestly, at this point, I'm going to make sure Jenny's on the same page. But I think at this point, my plan is to go up there Friday night, leave straight from work, because I'm already north, kind of out of the, towards that direction.
Yeah.
It's only about an hour from work. I can literally just get on 70 and just
go
cruise straight across.
Yep.
So I'm thinking that's probably what I'm going to do as well. This weekend's a little... Well, we've talked about some of the stuff that's been going on with the MWXC. We talked about that racer who had the really just horrific back injury.
Yeah.
She's still battling through that, and the family's going to have a lot of medical expenses and craziness because of that. So there's going to be some 50-50 raffles and that kind of stuff going on for her. But if you're familiar with MWXC at all, the previous announcer, Mike Brinkley, was a huge part of MWXC when they were growing from just a race series that had
100 people,
50 to 100 people a weekend, up to where it is now, where we're routinely breaking 600 and even into the 800 to 900. He was a big part of that growth, and very well liked by pretty much everyone there. Mike ended up, he had a long-standing battle with depression and ended up taking his own life about a week and a half ago, and it's weighing really heavily on a lot of people's minds. So it's going to be a tough weekend to get through.
Yeah, this is the first race weekend since everyone
found out
about it. Well, since it happened.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have a banner there for everyone to sign, and they're doing raffles and kind of taking donations for his family because he has 2 kids that Mike was he was roughly our age.
Yeah, he was 40. His kids were just about the same age as our kids, teenagers. And so, yeah, he's definitely leaving a hole in multiple places, and he's going to be missed by quite a few. So it's going to be a real, just kind of a mess of a weekend and, emotionally for a lot of people. And so, my job is going to be that much more interesting as the announcer now, and just trying to keep everything moving, but also pay him some respect throughout the weekend. And
yeah.
Plus, there's a pretty strong chance it's going to rain a fair amount this weekend.
We're supposed to get strong thunderstorms tonight and tomorrow. And then I think Saturday and Sunday right now they're saying 50% chance. So.
But if we get the worst of it out of the way tonight and tomorrow, it won't be as bad. But if we do get rain this weekend on top of that, it's going to be slick. It's going to be
because it'll soften up the ground. Yeah. The quads or the bikes will tear it up going into it. The side-by-sides will just destroy it.
Yeah.
They'll finish off whatever wasn't destroyed.
And now that this is round 7, bikes run first.
Yeah.
So if it is soft, they're going to cut their traditional 4-foot deep, single ruts, which really kind of,
it doesn't hurt the side-by-sides normally.
No, but once you run the side-by-sides and you've got the deep dirt bike ruts, the quads on Sunday are going to have an interesting time of it.
Yes, they will. That'll be, well, I think best case scenario, because we really do need rain here. Otherwise, we're going to have a dust bowl. We just haven't had any real appreciable rain in at least a week and a half or 2 weeks. So we need the rain. But the best case scenario in my mind is that we get some rain tonight into tomorrow morning, and then it gives it Friday afternoon and evening, and we don't get any rain over the weekend. That would really make for nice conditions. There's still going to be some wet spots. I know this.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with a little bit of wet spot, really.
So we'll just see how that plays out, but it could be an interesting post-race podcast.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely be back next week and let you know how that all flushes out. But we'll just see. I'm usually not real apprehensive about race weekends, but with everything that's going on for this one and the weather report, I'm not worried about it, but it's occupying a little more of my brain than I think it normally would be.
Not particularly looking forward to this one as much as normal.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's going to be a hard weekend to get through in some respects. But you know what? We're going to go out there, we're going to race, we're going to have some fun. And, usually things don't end up quite as bad as you make them out in your head.
Yeah. So that's normally the case.
Speaking of quads, I got mine back.
Doug went and picked his up.
So
we had talked about a little bit last podcast.
That David King had really gone out of his way to rebuild it, and he did some phenomenal work. I can't say enough about how much I appreciate your help there, David, and everything you did for me. And he wanted me to give a shout out to, let me make sure I don't mispronounce the name of this place. Oh, of course. No, I don't have it on here. Come on.
Well, I'll talk about
technology fail right there.
David did, he was messaging me the whole time, and we talked about this a little bit while he was getting it ready, and he was sending me pictures. I didn't get to go with Doug to pick it up, but I'm sure the look on your face was ecstatic.
Oh, yeah. Priceless.
I would have liked to have been there and gotten a video and everything else, but it just didn't work out. So
no, he really did some phenomenal work. And the place in question I was trying to get to was Performance Power Sports. They are over in Brownsburg.
Okay.
They hooked us up with parts at a really steep discount to get the thing done, and they really hooked me up. I bought 4 new GBCs for it. All 4 tires on it were really in pretty poor shape.
Questionable? Well, the rears aren't.
Well, my normal rears are. The rears that were on it when I gave it to them are my paddle tires.
Sand paddle tires.
So they're not really good for tearing around cross-country style because they will last about 13 seconds
Well, if we get those deep, wet, muddy races, they'll be great.
just slinging mud. The only place I got to ride it after it was done is I fired it up right there, when he had done his work on it. Before I loaded it in the truck, there was an alley.
Yeah.
Like a gravel alley.
Yeah.
And I got on a little bit, and he's like, man, that thing was just slinging gravel.
Yeah, you got paddles on the back, just flipping it everywhere. Yeah.
So, but on my other set of rims that basically has a set of lawn tractor tires on it, I'm sure were designed for quads, but they look like turf tires.
They're the old ones with the little square tread blocks that are like 1 inch by 1 inch.
Yeah,
that's all they are.
They completely look like you stole them off of a lawn tractor if you have them on your quad. So, brand new set of GBCs, going to throw those on there, and I'll get some ride time in, and already kind of discussing some paint schemes for it and a few things like that. So it's really renewed my interest in this little quad.
Yep, and I know that was his whole reason.
I've got the bug, man, bad. I'm really, really glad that he came along, decided to do that for me, and did not, allow me to sell it, basically. Because I want to get another quad, but it's one of those things, once it's gone, now it gets put in the filing cabinet behind a dozen other things.
Right.
And you just, okay, well, I'm not really ready to buy one yet. It could have been 2-3 years before I got back into one.
Yeah.
So the excitement's going, and I'm buying stuff, and you know how it is.
No.
No.
I don't know how that is at all.
But man, it runs like a top. I really do like the punch that 11-to-1 compression piston gave it.
Yeah.
It definitely above and beyond your normal 400. So glad to have that back.
Yep. And we'll do a walk around video of it as soon as we get tires on it and kind of just the last thing squared away. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll do a very brief ATV slant on our normally heavily UTV.
Hey, it's off-roading. It's
exactly.
all good.
If it's off-road, we don't care.
Yep.
It's just UTVs are the best.
Yes, they are.
So I got my quad back. What other developments we had this week? Oh, you get to ride with Barry Miller this weekend.
I do. Barry sent me a message on Tuesday and said, hey, what are you up to this weekend? Said, nothing. What do you got? He said, you want to ride along? I said, absolutely, I do. So,
and then did he say, haha, just kidding?
No, I was kind of expecting that almost.
No.
But
well, too bad. A lot of other people do too.
Too bad, sucker. Walk. So, no, I get to ride with Barry. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's one of the reasons I hope we have a decent track. The only other time I've been in an X3 was Matt Hecker's.
Which was a mud race.
And it was a flat mud race. It was just bad. So
if you don't break them, you cause bad weather.
Could be. Maybe that's what it is.
It's just XC racing, man.
It is.
I mean, you're racing what you get. It's either hot and dusty or cold and rainy or
snow.
I mean, it's whatever Mother Nature feels like throwing your way. And honestly, it does seem like it lands on weekends a lot.
It does.
That you can have perfect weeks.
Today was beautiful.
Yeah, yesterday, the day before. I mean, all this week would have been maybe a little on the hot side, but not bad at all.
Right.
And then, of course, this weekend, just in time.
Thunderstorms.
God doesn't want us racing.
Yeah, it's fine.
We're going to do it anyways. Just like the green beans.
Yep. Going anyway. Can't stop me.
I'm excited you get to do that. And then, of course, we talked last podcast that you're on a team for Heartland.
I am. Looking forward to that. Still got some prep to do. Not on my machine, but just stuff to get around and get ready. Because it's a long way out there.
And you bought yourself a neck brace.
I did.
You're a smart man.
Yeah. I tended to not use them when you're a co-driver. I found anyway, at least for my build, it was hard for me to get my head around to see some of the people behind us. 4 hours, I didn't want to go without it.
I'm probably going to get myself one too. I still have the foam
Simpson
donut,
one?
the Simpson one, but that's really, it's like a courtesy neck brace. It doesn't really do the job.
It meets tech inspection, and that's what it does.
Yes, you have one.
Yes.
You could probably take a towel and roll it up real tight and then duct tape it, and it would be about the same.
I've duct taped shipping material around my neck. I'm good. See?
Should be fine. Well, the reason I'm thinking about buying one is I may have a race for Heartland as well. Or
I believe so.
Ride, I should say, for the race.
Yep.
So Kevin Spangler, who we talked last time about him completely blowing up his UTV.
He didn't blow it up as bad as
only partially blew it up.
Yeah. He definitely ruined the CVT. He only broke the CVT housing, and it didn't get the engine case or the transmission. There's a miscommunication between me and him.
So that's not bad. I mean, it's not great.
I mean, it still broke the drive shaft too.
But it's not bad.
He's got a line on all the parts. I think they're on their way or should be on their way, and I think he's working on it this weekend. So he won't make the MWXC race, which I'd like to get him out there one time. He hasn't made any of the MWXCs, but he's going to make it to the next IXCR, he said he thinks, and then Heartland.
And hopefully IXCR treats him well where he doesn't take himself out of the running for Heartland.
Well, IXCR is 2 weeks before Heartland.
So, yeah, even if he blows it up, he's got a chance to put it together.
He's
but hopefully any damage is minor. Yeah. So he's still on the fence because he may have an opportunity to race out in the Vegas area. But if it doesn't sound like that's going to come through, it sounds like he's about 70% sure he's going to make Heartland at this point.
Yeah.
So that being the case, looks like I have a ride. Because honestly, I was going to go regardless, but I really didn't just want to pal around with people and hang around and watch other people
Everybody
race.
else go in circles.
Yeah.
I want to go in circles.
Exactly. I want to race, man.
Yeah.
Just it's hard to stand there.
I get it.
So I'm pretty excited about having that opportunity as well. But we should have time to get some decent footage and make a semi-compelling video out of that mess too.
Yeah. We'll recruit some people that are standing around to grab some video and stuff like that as we go flying by. I'm going to try and get a GoPro strapped up on my helmet.
And this track is like freeway wide compared to what we're used to.
Yeah, it's
in spots.
wide.
It does get tighter and more technical in sections, but there's some flat out just running room on this.
Yeah. It really is. It's an endurance race more than a brutal beat the machine race.
Yeah, they're not trying to see who can thread the needle, 70 inches between trees and they're at 68. The goal here is not to blow up people's machines. It's to see who can hold them together. Yeah.
Because it's 4 hours, and that is a long time to run hard. That is a really long time.
Oh, think about belts and, just the motor itself. That's a long, hard push for a motor like that.
It is. I would imagine we'll be changing belts at least one time in there. Normal races that we run an hour, a lot of racers change a belt after each race on the high horsepower machines.
Yeah, I could see that.
You might get 2 races, but
I think the advantage here is you don't have a lot of the really crushing uphills. There's some of that stuff, but you know what I mean? You're traveling more at consistent high speed versus on and off the throttle, the belts, fluctuating up and down the sheaves more. I think it's going to be easier, but yeah, I could see putting a new belt on at the halfway mark.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited to be able to, have an opportunity to do that.
Yeah. If you guys are quad guys, so the UTVs race on Friday, quads race Saturday, and I think the dirt bikes are Sunday, if I remember
Sounds right.
The quads and dirt bikes are 10 hours of racing.
Dude, that is insane. I see these guys racing 90 minutes plus a lap.
Yeah, and they're just sucking wind like a fat kid running after a cake.
Oh, yeah.
Even
the guys who are in shape, the pros that show up, like the GNCC level pros, they're not as exhausted because they really put in the time to ride. But you can tell they're still...
They're worn.
They're worn.
Yeah. 10 hours. 10 hours.
Now,
it's a lot easier to hold a quad together. Now, the motor is I'm not going to say it's questionable, but I think that's under the most strain.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas on a UTV, I think it's more an overall strain on the drivetrain and the suspension components and everything else.
Well, yeah, on a quad, pardon me, you've got a clutch, you've got, direct contact with the gears and stuff. You don't have the CVT, you don't have the other stuff in the middle that can wear.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that should be interesting. I'm curious how quad riders, I'm guessing you don't see the frenzied pace you see at a shorter race.
I'll bet you see a fair amount of it. because they sign up in teams also.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you. I'm assuming this is teams.
Yes, they still do teams.
I hadn't looked that much into anything other than the UTV side.
I think what a lot of the guys end up doing is they run in basically hour or 2 hour stints and swap out, because I don't know of a single quad rider ever or dirt bike rider who could do 10 hours and keep the pace when you have other
there's
people
no
you can
way.
switch. No.
You could probably do 10 hours straight, but you would have to just be a really leisurely pace.
Yeah.
And even then.
Yeah. I mean, there's like the Baja where they run that, but those guys are not running. They're running quick, don't get me wrong, but they're not running full race pace the whole time. They're just not. You can't.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'd assume they were switching out, but you confirmed it for me. Like I said, I was really focused just on the UTV side, and I've never been out there. I've never even really seen much about it other than the website and kind of the information I got there. I hadn't heard of it until Steve mentioned it, I don't know, a few months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I honestly hadn't even heard of it.
I wanted to go out last year, but just time didn't allow. Too many things going on. So now I'm looking forward to this one. I hope I get to do more than just co-drive, although I'll take co-driving.
You should run it next year.
It's very possible.
Sweet.
It's very possible. Yeah.
Well, either that or we at least got to do a short track event.
I want to do a short track. The problem is, man, you really got to set up different for short track. It's just completely different.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like the setup for short track is more compatible with kind of the touring and expedition kind of riding we want to do. I don't think they're mutually exclusive.
Yeah. It's not far off. There's some things that would need to be changed, but I think it's easier to swap.
Yeah. Dude, that'd be fun. Watching the videos of that stuff. Watching Cheney's rear cam this week.
I sent Doug Cheney's, Kyle Cheney, he posted his rear cam footage for the last couple laps, or leading up to the last couple laps of EFX Motorsports Park, the one they did this last weekend.
Yep.
And man, it just looks like so much fun. I mean, you could probably, if you were just parking the buggies side by side, I bet you could fit 6 of them wide.
Oh, yeah.
If not more, in every spot in the track. And the track is nice and smooth and groomed, and they're flying these big tabletops and everything else.
And the jumps are set up for them because they're flying nice.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not just immediately nosing down. I mean, the jumps are set for these buggies.
Now, I posted a video on our Instagram and Facebook page where you guys will see Scotty Lawrence, and he's a Can-Am guy. He flew it, and it didn't go so... Or no, he was taking a corner. He came down and was taking a corner.
Yeah, he came down, and he kind of had his wheels slightly cocked because he was like preparing to get into that corner.
Yeah.
And...
rolled it up. Now, that was in qualifying, I believe, and he was able to fix it overnight, and he raced it the next day. So, didn't really hurt the overall machine, but that just tells you how strong they build these machines. The difference between short course style like that and like cross country style, when you wreck something in cross country, 99% of the time, I mean, yeah, it'll take you out of the race, but you're normally going slow enough where it doesn't really affect anything. No. You might get beat up a little bit, and that's about that.
Usually if there's a rollover, it's just a razor nap. It's on its side.
Yeah.
Occasionally on the roof, but not very often.
Short course racing, you're going so fast that when it's bad, it goes very bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the video is evidence of that.
It's obviously a different track setup than quarter midget, but it reminds me of that because it's high speed, kind of tightly packed, because like you said, you get to run flat open. So everybody in your class has horsepower.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going to get just leagues and leagues in front. I mean, everybody's bunched up, fairly good. It's open wheel.
Yeah.
And if you do one thing wrong, you go tumbling.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminds me of quarter midget racing, even though obviously the track layout's different. There's no jumps in quarter midget and that kind of stuff. It's just that high speed, tightly packed, open wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like a ton of fun. I'm going to try and look up Lucas. It's a Lucas Oil. Is it short course series or something like that? Is what it's called. I want to look up where they're coming to and see if they're somewhere reasonably close. I would love to go catch one.
Absolutely. I'm completely with you on that. Really, honestly, I'm more excited about that than anything I have been in side-by-side racing in a while.
Yeah.
When you said you wanted to go cross-country racing last year, I kind of thought, okay, it'll be fun. It's racing, so I'm in.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was kind of what I expected. Sometimes you're sitting in the woods because the way's blocked and you're trying to pick a path through because you can't get up this one particular hill. And,
Yeah.
Not that any of that's bad, but this is just...
Well, and the terrain dictates the course in cross-country racing. They build the course.
And you race it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's set up for, that a UTV or stadium trucks or whatever.
Yeah. No, I love the format. I love the setup for all that. And I'm honestly really excited about that.
Yeah.
Definitely want to see it. Definitely would like to try it.
Yeah. That may be a goal to at least do one or two,
Yeah.
I really don't want to try and travel to Minnesota and all these places that they race. I mean, it'd be fun, but
I think it suits your driving style, though.
Oh, probably, yeah.
I mean, you're a good driver. Don't get me wrong. Our record last year notwithstanding, and the fact that you were fighting a buggy that literally wanted to kill both of us.
I stopped it.
Yes, you did.
Didn't kill me.
That was amazing in and of itself. But I think this suits your driving style better.
Yeah, it probably does. We may have to look into that. It's not going to be a this year thing. There's just too many things to get ready. Too many other things going on.
Oh, yeah.
So,
okay, so I'm looking at the statement from the Razor Facebook page.
yes,
What in the world?
that's exactly why I put it on there. Would you like to read it?
This is a direct quote.
This is?
Does someone make good sway bar bushings, or do I need to run shock limit straps?
Does that make sense to anybody out there in the internet land?
I just saw a statement on Razor Facebook page, and I just kind of glanced over it because I was looking at a few other things. And while you were talking, I read it, and I'm like, did I read that wrong?
Did he type that wrong? No, that is exactly what somebody said.
Does anyone make good sway bar bushings, or do I need to run shock limit straps? It sounds like you need to turn your UTV in to someone else.
Go get an Easy Go or something.
Yeah, no kidding.
So this guy literally did ask this. Now, I have zero problems with people, especially new guys that are new to the UTV world, with them asking questions.
Oh, yeah.
I will answer your questions. That right there is someone who just took like the buzzwords from things he had seen.
Yes.
And crammed them into a sentence.
It was like suspension bingo.
Yeah. And
You took all your little pieces and lined them up, and boom.
Yeah. Several people, including myself, answered back. Because the thing is, he didn't ask a question as far as, I'm having this problem, what can I do to fix it?
Right.
He asked a question like, I know the answer, which one of these do I need?
Yeah, it was...
And it's neither. You didn't even... That doesn't even make sense. I literally replied something to the effect of, that doesn't make sense. The two aren't related in the least bit. You couldn't have a problem with one that one part would fix. It's like asking who makes the best brake pads, or do I just need new engine oil? It's the same thing. The two are not tied together.
You could have trolled him.
I could have, but I wasn't going to be that mean. I was trying to educate him more than anything. I believe the problem...
first thing you need to do is upgrade your exhaust bearings.
Yes. No, I believe the problem he was actually having was it was either one of the two. He didn't really explain it well, and then he ended up deleting his post because other people came in and just started flaming the guy to no end. But either his sway bar bushings were creaking, or he was talking about his shocks overextending and slapping at the end of their range of motion.
I was assuming from reading this that not exactly that. My thought was he was experiencing a lot of body roll because he either had a broken sway bar end link or something, or he thought his sway bar was not being held in there securely, so it was rolling, and so maybe he wanted a shock limit strap to keep it from healing up on one side as much.
Not the way to do it.
No, it's not, but that was kind of my assumption. It didn't make any sense, like you said, but it was like, well, maybe this is what he's
and
trying
the reason
to get
I
at.
know that he just like pulled buzzwords from the UTV world is one of the things that a lot of people do is they'll get new sway bar bushings and new collars that hold them because the factory ones aren't greasable. They squeak like crazy, and they're a little on the soft side. And then people will also get shock limit straps because when you do like tender springs or anything, the shocks overextend and they slap on the end. And you can actually blow them apart if it slaps hard enough. Not a lot of people do, but is what it is. So I kind of, I threw that in there because I was like, if he just would have said, hey, my shocks are making a funny noise when I put these tender springs on and now they make a funny pop noise when, I jump or when they extend all the way. Or there's a creaking noise underneath my machine, blah, 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 blah. He didn't say any of that. He just like threw buzzwords in. So I thought you guys might get a kick out of that. I got a kick out of it anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, my laptop is having an absolute fit here. Well, I appreciate that you took the high road, honestly, and tried to educate someone.
Yeah, I tried. So I found that humorous anyway.
The other thing I want to touch on here that I thought was absolutely awesome, we talked several podcasts ago about our trip up to Harrison Power Sports up there in Harrison, Michigan.
Yep.
And the trail system up there was absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Well, they've just gone and one-upped again. They have opened up 6,300 miles of roads for UTV use this year. 6,300 miles.
Yeah, that's a bunch.
You could spend entire summers up there and never get through all of it.
Yep.
That is incredible that they're doing that. And Michigan has really tried to position itself as very friendly to power sports, water sports, because a lot of the Michigan economy is actually predicated on tourism.
Right.
They've got lakes all around them. I mean, they've got just miles and miles and miles of shoreline, but there's a lot of people that aren't interested in boating. So what can you do inland? And this is obviously they followed the trend and figured it out, but to construct that many, trails, that took a long time and a lot of, man hours.
Well, resources in general.
Yeah. I mean, it took a lot to do that. That was no small undertaking.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to get up there and start exploring some of those.
Yep. Well, and Doug and I had talked about this, and I've mentioned it before. I don't know if it's been on the podcast or not, but to me, if your county or if your state is ATV, UTV friendly, as in you allow them to ride on the roads, as in the shoulders of the road, to get between trailheads or to get to gas stations or whatever. Basically, if you accommodate them in these little ways, I'm not saying they need to be on the highway,
No.
that whatever. But if you make these little concessions so that they can get gas easily, so they can just drive their machine up and get gas instead of having to go back to their campsite, you will boost your economy by so much, it's not even funny.
Oh, yeah. People will come from literally all points of the country to stop in your state.
That is really, I think, in my opinion, that's what's keeping West Virginia and places like that afloat right now.
Yeah, really. The ability to go out there and off-road.
Yeah. And West Virginia has really become ATV, UTV off-road friendly to pretty much everything that you can drive your quad or your UTV in town. You can get food. You can drive between trailheads, to get fuel and all that. And they just don't hassle you all the time. Now, I mean, people that are out there destroying stuff, they need hassled. I'm not arguing that. But I'm saying the normal people that are out there just to trail ride and to have fun, and I'm not saying that everyone who has a UTV is rich. I'm not even going there. But what I am saying is most of these people have a disposable income because we've talked about that UTVs are not a necessity. They're a toy.
Yeah.
We all know this. For most of us, anyway.
And you have a certain amount of disposable income, that you have to have just to get into one in the first place.
Right.
So,
and if you already have the machine, that means you probably like off-roading in general, and you're going to use your vacation time and stuff like that to use this machine, which means you're going to stay in cabins or campgrounds. You're going to buy fuel for this because you're just driving around burning fuel. You're going to need food and everything else. You're going to want to stop and, buy I went to West Virginia, or I love Michigan t-shirts or whatever. You're spending this money. It's vacationers' money that you're collecting at that point.
Well, and it's also a year-round sport. A lot of your water sports, obviously very seasonal, and a lot of it dries up once kids go back to school. You've got that summer window.
Yeah.
And a lot of water sports tend to shrink drastically when the kids are back in school. This, not so much, because honestly, your demographic of people that do riding like this tend to be people that have kids that are a little bit older.
Yeah.
It's not people with toddlers or, small kids like that are just vacationing on the beach. And you can do this during the winter. If you want to go bundle up and go riding, you can do that year round.
Yeah.
So
it may be a little hard in Michigan with some of the snow they get, but
be fun.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. But yeah, it's, there's a lot of legs here. And honestly, I think there's a big shift. If you follow the sales trends for like Indian Motorcycle, Harley, and a lot of the bigger cruiser style bikes, they're selling less and less year on year right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people have shifted over to spending their money on UTVs instead of motorcycles because honestly, motorcycling, especially around here, is a very seasonal sport.
Yeah.
There's good portions of the year you cannot ride. And a lot of people, honestly, I think are moving off-road because the roads have gotten so crazy. Semi-traffic is absolutely nuts anymore. There's semis everywhere.
You're dealing with other people that could hit you when you're not at fault at all. You're actually in the right and you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, that's part of where I was going to go next was you're dealing with people on phones who are not paying attention.
Yeah.
I just got rear-ended and got my car totaled last year by a lady who was not paying attention at all, hit me while I was going 60 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are opting off-road because the roads honestly aren't that much fun anymore.
Yeah. Just too many crazy people.
So it's
at least off-road, if I'm doing something stupid, it's only really going to affect me most of the time.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
I mean, there is the fluke things that happen. I get that. But, there's not some teenager on their cell phone driving in the trails off-road. I hope not.
Well, you never know. But it has made me consider, we've talked about going back up to Silver Lake up there in Michigan, hit the dunes again now that you've got some real horsepower.
Yeah.
And I've got my quad back.
Yeah.
But part of me is looking at, okay, do we do that trip and extend it at least a day or only plan to spend a day at Silver Lake? And do we hit some other trails while we're up there?
I would be great with that.
Yeah. Kind of spread the riding out, which is options we haven't had before. You went up there and did that and that was it.
Yeah. So it's looking real interesting. I'm excited to see Michigan did that. They opened them up in January. So first of this year they opened up those and they're expecting to open up more this year. I think they said another 1,200 miles or something like that this year. So a lot. I mean,
so you're talking 8,000 miles of trails.
Yeah. A lot.
Come to Michigan.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Maybe I moved the wrong direction. Maybe you should have moved up by me.
No. You lived up there when it's wintry months. Do you want that?
Okay, not so much.
Okay, I thought.
Well, we're probably getting towards trivia time here.
We are. Are you excited for trivia?
I am, because I did well last time, so you kind of give me a little bit of a boost. Although I must admit, it seems like people did like the motor challenge last time.
Yeah. So anybody who didn't catch the last episode, Doug had...
Go listen.
Yeah, go listen to it first, but I'll explain what it is. And take the challenge on your own. See how you do. I don't think I did bad. What did I get? Like 6 or 7? Something like that?
I think you got like 6 out of 10 and then 8 out of 10 with a little bit of prodding, or you were kind of close, but
okay. So
you did well.
Yeah.
There's only a couple that you just said, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So what Doug did is he had different engine sounds that he played for me, and I had to guess what the motor was, like what it was out of or what the machine was.
Because you do have a good ear for that stuff.
I tend to. My wife says it's useless knowledge. I think it's not. I think it's great knowledge. So anyway, so we have trivia for you. We have a write-in from Fuzzy.
Oh boy.
But I'll tell you when that comes up because it's not number 1. I pulled one of mine out for his because his was better.
Oh, of course.
So.
All right, lay it on me.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay, question number 1. What percentage of U.S. presidents have met the criteria for mental illness while in office?
All of them?
You would think, but no. Do you have a legitimate guess?
Is that percentage?
It is a percentage, yes.
I don't. That's an interesting. That seems like kind of a loaded question. I'm going to go 65%.
27.
I like my answer better.
Yours is probably closer to real. What are you calling mental illness? Yeah.
Because I probably fit in that same 27%.
Could be.
Define mental illness.
Yeah.
In terms of mentally ill person would understand.
All right. Question number 2. The world's deadliest earthquake was in China in 1556. How many people were killed?
125,000.
800,000.
800,000 in one earthquake?
Yep.
Okay, I'm sure there are aftershocks they counted in there, but still, dude, that's insane.
Yes, it is.
What, did like the earth just split open and
Swallow a
them
couple
whole?
towns?
Holy crap.
No idea. But yeah, 800,000 people.
That is nuts.
Crazy.
I'm going to go read about that now.
Okay.
Well, not right now, but you know what I mean.
After this, yeah. Question number 3. How many Americans die every year from falling out of bed?
How high are these people's beds?
Quite tall, I guess.
Okay, I'm assuming this is after effects. Like old Aunt Millie falls out, breaks her hip, dies of complications later.
I don't know exactly. By the number, I would say no.
Okay.
Because I would expect it to be much higher if that was the case.
1,200.
600.
Okay, I doubled it up.
Yeah.
That's still surprising. I guess, anything.
You hit your head on anything.
Yeah, I mean, my bed's probably like close to the height of this desk because I got a big fat mattress.
Yeah.
And if I fell out and like landed right on my temple on something hard on the floor, that would probably, that'd do it.
Yeah.
That's still a shocking number, though.
It is.
I'm going to strap myself in bed tonight.
I need a bed seatbelt.
Like harnesses, just like pull them down. All right, we're good.
Got to be 5 points, though.
You know what your trivia has taught me?
What's that?
That no matter how secure I feel, if I just think hard enough, there are so many wonderful things to be afraid of.
I noticed that when I was writing this. It's like a lot of mine are about like how you die or all these bad things that could happen to
Why
you.
do you gravitate towards that?
It's interesting, I guess.
It is.
Okay.
A little macabre, but okay.
This one's from Fuzzy. How many bounty hunters did Darth Vader hire to hunt Luke?
6.
You are correct. Good job. Haha, you got one.
I thought he was going to... Now that I know he's in a Star Wars mode, I know there's some crazy ones coming.
Yeah.
But I might surprise even him.
He had another one, but I'm saving it. He gave me one more, but I didn't put it in this one. So don't worry,
ready.
Fuzzy. I got it.
Okay.
Just going to put it next
Saving the
week.
best for later.
Yeah.
Like your green beans.
No. Nasty food.
Next time you come over, I'm going to have green beans and macaroni and cheese.
It's not that I hate them as much now. I just don't enjoy them that much. Macaroni and cheese.
They're just there.
I get that I'm probably the oddity on this also. Macaroni and cheese, it's just like, meh. I don't care about it.
You shut your mouth.
If it's there, I'll eat it.
That is God's gift to us.
I don't really eat watermelon either. Don't particularly. It's
No,
not that
I
I
agree
hate
with you
it.
there.
I just
my kids,
don't care.
Dude, my 2 kids will like clear out a hole when they love it. I just don't get it.
I don't eat cantaloupe.
My father-in-law salts it.
Watermelon?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad does too.
I never understood that one either.
Yeah. I don't like cucumbers either. I'm not a picky eater.
They don't taste like anything. They're just...
My wife says the same thing. They taste to me. They
really
have
a flavor, but it's just not like... It's not very strong.
It's a strong flavor to me. That's what
really?
I do. Maybe it's like the way my taste buds are miswired and,
So you're taste blind as well as color blind.
Could be.
All right, moving on. I'm done trying to figure you out.
Great. My
head
wife
hurts.
is sending trivia from the other room for you.
Oh, crap.
I'll throw it in at the end, dear. You got to give me the answer, though. Oh, she just did. Okay.
Interactive show. Live interactive. Maybe we should actually open this up sometime and have people call in.
We'll have to schedule that out. But
That'd be fun.
I'd be okay with that.
All right. Anyways, moving onward.
Question number 5. I'm going to butcher this. This one's for Fuzzy, not from Fuzzy. You'll get why.
Okay.
2 seconds. The Anolosmus eximus spider. Fuzzy hates spiders. Fuzzy, dream of this at night for me, buddy. Forms a group with other spiders to maintain webs and catch prey. What is the group size? normally? What does the average group of spiders consist of? How many?
Again, I don't know. I guess 1,200 on the deaths from bed, so I'll go with 1,200 on the spiders.
50,000.
Holy crap.
Creepy crawly little buggies.
Oh, he would have freaked out. That camping trip I took to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Every morning when I went outside, there was some sort of new bug waiting for me on the mat. Like they just...
Looking
Hello?
up at you.
Yes, it was something different every morning. Now, bugs don't bother me. I'll pick them up and look at them and go put them in the woods. One morning, I get up and there's a spider. And I'm like, this spider looks really weird. Like the body was all kind of... I don't know. It looked like a shriveled raisin or something. It wasn't... normally they're just round, right?
Right.
I look closer and it's got eggs...
Sacks all over it. Yeah.
And as I sweep it off, it lets one of them go, and like a billion baby spiders just go all over the ground. Like on its way out the door, it freaked out, and maybe that was a distraction technique.
Yeah.
But I see these little, like, they just look like the head of a pin, but they have legs, and they're just like everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah, he would have just died right there.
Yep. He does not like spiders at all.
I thought it was cool. I was trying to find it to poke it again.
Drop another one.
That was neat.
All right. Question number 6. How far can the human heart shoot blood? Dude, why do my questions go this way? I like them, but whatever.
You probably know this one firsthand.
I knew it, actually. Yes.
7 feet?
30 feet. About 30 feet.
Wow.
That's a pump.
Yeah, it is. Holy cow.
Yep. Yeah. So, anyway.
How do they... I don't even want to know how they know.
Yeah.
Moving on.
We have newspaper ad. We need test subjects.
Don't ask questions.
Sign this waiver, please.
Aperture Laboratories.
Yeah. Never mind. I'm not going to start quoting it. Going on. Okay, question number 7. What percent of American adults don't drink any alcohol at all?
I'll bet it's higher than one would think. 35?
30%. You're pretty close.
Yeah. I was going to say, a lot of people are thinking, oh, like 2. I'm just like, there's a fair amount of people. I mean, I know people that just don't.
Yeah.
It's not particularly healthy, but I'm going to die of something anyways, so.
But you don't need to speed it along either.
That my whole life with you is speeding towards death.
Whatever.
I moved closer to you. That alone was bad enough.
Did that void your insurance or anything?
No, yeah, my life insurance like quadrupled when they found out where I was.
Oh, that guy. Great. All right. Question number 8. 90% of paper currency has traces of what on it?
I'm going to go with feces.
Cocaine.
Okay. It was you. I had to pick something like...
Yep. That was a strong bet and a good bet, just knowing me. But no, it is cocaine.
So if I just had enough money...
If you had enough money, you could like wash it and then condense it back, and you'd be a drug lord.
So I'm going to get all my paychecks just in cash from here on out.
In $1 bills, because it's paper currency.
That would be highly illegal and terrible. I will never do that. Authorities who are listening.
Right.
Good thing I don't work for the federal government.
Doug's cashing all his paychecks like at the bank that's next door to the strip club or something.
I'll bet you my answer is pretty close too, though.
What? Feces? Yeah. Well, you're probably right.
Money's terrifying.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not worried about it. That's the worst that happens to me. I'm doing great.
It's a scary thought.
Okay. Right. Question number 9. In the 16th century, it was believed that eating what would turn you into a werewolf? Common food.
Wow. I didn't know that was a thing.
What's the 16th century? We're kind of not there anymore.
16th century. Radishes?
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Okay. I figured it had to be a veggie of some sort. Oh, I guess tomatoes are fruit, actually.
Yeah. Eat a tomato, turn into a werewolf.
I still don't like tomatoes. I mean, I don't hate them, but I feel like you do about like cucumbers or just like...
Oh, no, I hate cucumbers.
Okay.
Watermelon, I'm just like, meh.
Whatever. Okay, then watermelon. I can take them or leave them. So now I know why. I don't want to be a werewolf.
Yep. It's not been disproven.
That's true.
Okay, question number 10. Last one. What animal has been... And my wife's
And a
extra.
bonus. Okay.
She's yelling from the other room. You guys can't hear her. Question number 10. What animal has been responsible for more human deaths than all wars in history?
Is it animal or insect?
Yes.
Okay.
It's in the animal kingdom.
Fleas.
Nope. Mosquitoes.
I'll buy that. I was thinking bubonic plague.
Yeah. No, mosquitoes.
That was, well, bubonic plague wiped out half of Europe. That one's probably true as well.
No. How many mosquitoes have been carrying like malaria and everything?
You said more than all the wars combined, right?
Right.
I'll bet you my answer's right too.
No, not many people, not as many people have been killed by fleas.
But it wasn't which insect has killed the most. It was which one has killed more than all the other wars combined. I'll bet you
could be.
I'm going to look up fleas. I'll bet you it's close.
If you get that one right, we'll credit it to your imaginary inner points.
Account.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes, yeah, I totally buy that.
Okay.
How many people they lose like per day doing the Panama Canal?
Yeah, it was a lot. I don't remember.
Terrible.
So the bonus question from my wife: what is the only food that does not spoil?
Okay.
And this is correct. I know this one already.
Okay, I want to say I know mustard doesn't. Is it mustard?
It is not mustard.
Okay, so it's like a whole food, not a mustard's made of different stuff.
Yes, it is it's a food. It's not like a combination of ingredients.
Okay, honey.
Yes, you are correct.
Mustard doesn't either. It never expires.
Yeah.
Because it's basically just like a bunch of vinegar and salt and nothing will grow in that stuff.
And mustard seeds crushed up, and
yeah.
I love mustard.
But mainly it's like vinegar and salt.
My wife thinks it's weird, and I guess other people will now too. And because other people told me it's weird, I'll eat just like mustard on a cracker. I love mustard.
Jenny puts mustard on her mac and cheese occasionally.
I've never tried that. That might actually make mac and cheese
There you go.
okay.
See? I've opened up your horizons.
There you go. Huh.
I don't know that they're good ones, but I've opened them up.
Yep.
Well, look, I got both right then.
Yeah, you did. We'll give it to you.
I didn't do terrible.
You didn't do
I'm
bad.
like
And you were close on some of the others too. So.
I'm feeling pretty good about myself because there was a few weeks there where I'm like, why do I even do this?
I'm dumb.
Never thought that. Maybe just that I wasn't as good at trivia as I thought I was.
Or I'm dumb.
No, I think that about you. That's the difference. We are not doing that one. That's for sure.
Which one?
Chad's blind date.
Oh, come on.
Okay, do your blind date story. So, stupid stuff with Chad. This one is probably in the top 3.
This one's going to take a minute to set up too, but y'all will hang in there with
Just
me
hang
for a
in
minute.
there. The payoff is there.
So I got set up on a blind date by my cousin.
Red flag number 1.
Yeah. She tells me, I've got this girl that you need to go on a date with. She called me to tell me this. And I said, okay, tell me about her. And, she proceeds to tell me her name and, blah, blah, blah. And this was been back when my cousin was in college. And I said, okay, is she cute? And my cousin goes, yeah, she's cute. And kind of yeah, she's cute.
Hesitant.
That was like, and I said, okay, now I know you. So I'm going to ask again, and I want a legit, real answer. Is she cute? And she goes, yeah, she's cute. And I'm like, okay, I'll trust you on this. I was like, maybe she was just like, legitimately thought about, okay, would Chad think she's cute? And that was her hesitation in the answer at first. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I'll bite. I'll go on the date. So, yeah. So I show up at my cousin's because we were all going to go out somewhere. It wasn't like a singular blind date, I think. Didn't end up really making it on the date. So, show up there at my cousin's, and my cousin answers the door with this girl who I'm supposed to be going on the date with. She was not cute.
No.
Now, looks aren't everything, but
they are something.
They are something. They count. So I was instantly like, it just set me off. I was just mad. I mean, I didn't want to be there, didn't want to go, just wanted to go somewhere else, didn't want to be there. So my cousin says, we're still getting ready. Come in, sit down in the living room, and we'll get out of here in a minute. Fine. I walk in, I sit down in the living room, and they go back to the bathroom, bedroom area, and they're getting ready. I sat there for like a minute or two, maybe, and just stewing at this point. And I'm just steaming, getting even more mad, like at every second. So finally, I'm just like, forget it. And I just get up and I leave. Don't tell anybody. Don't say anything. I'm just like, I'm out. I don't care anymore. I'm done. About 5 minutes later, and I'm in my truck. I'm driving home. I'm like, I'm done. Don't care. And my cousin calls me and she goes, where are you at? Because she thought maybe I like just went outside or something.
Yeah.
Said, I'm going home. She goes, what do you mean? Said, if you think she's cute, you're drunk. And my cousin goes, what? And I said, she looks like a troll that lives under a bridge and eats small children. She probably wasn't that ugly.
Man, you're a charmer.
I know. Look at me. So she probably wasn't that bad. And I kind of legitimately feel bad about this next part. So my cousin says, if you're going to skip out on us, you have to tell her why you're leaving. And I was like, I mean, like I said, I was mad and I was done dealing with it. And at that point, fine, put her on the phone. I got no problem with this. She gets on the phone, this girl, and this is where I feel bad from this point on, because I didn't need to say this in this way, but I did. She gets on the phone and she very sheepishly says, hello. And I said, I'm sorry to tell you this, but I don't find you the least bit attractive. And I got way better things to do with my evening than go out with you, because I was lied to and I'm not going to do this. And she basically was like, okay, and handed the phone back to my cousin. My cousin called me names, and that was the end of that. Yeah.
I'm just sitting here trying to figure out how you ended up with Brandy.
Oh, I don't know.
All I can figure is she took pity on you.
Yeah. Hey, there's a project. He needs some work. She's yelling from the other room, I didn't have any options.
I did enjoy one story she told where she's like, you had no game whatsoever.
I don't claim to. Never did claim to.
Yeah, that really qualifies as stupid stuff with Chad.
Yeah.
That was a good one to come back on.
We haven't done them in a few weeks, I think.
No, we've done other stuff. See, we're trying to spread it out and bring some new stuff in so y'all don't get completely bored with this podcast. Just partially bored will do.
Just think, guys, all these stories I'm telling you, you could tell your wives or girlfriends, I could be as bad as this guy.
We literally, I think we've talked about Kill the Pope.
Yeah.
On the podcast
have we explained the whole game?
I don't know if we have, so I'm going to do it real quick.
Go for it.
So Kill the Pope is if you're about to do something stupid that your wife or significant other won't like, you think of the worst thing you can possibly think of doing. Killing the Pope, for instance.
Hence the name of the game, or game, quote unquote.
And then you tell your significant other that you have done said horrible thing. And then when they totally freak out, you back off and go, just kidding. All I really did was buy $3,000 worth of parts for my UTV. So, and then it doesn't seem as horrible.
So in this scenario, you're getting ready to buy, we'll just say $1,000 in parts.
Sure.
It's an easy number. It doesn't matter. Number doesn't matter. Going to buy $1,000 in parts for the UTV. You tell your significant other that you bought, you know,
a new UTV, or, you know, $10,000 worth of parts for it or something like that. Let them freak out. Let them go. And they will yell and yell. And then I only bought $1,000. And then you'll get well, it's still pretty bad, but it's not $10,000 bad. It's basically front loading the grief.
Yeah.
As opposed to taking grief for days, you kind of get it all out in one session.
Yep. It's going to happen.
So, killing the Pope. So what we're doing here is giving you Kill the Pope ammunition.
Yeah.
I mean, you have stories now that you could just copy directly from Chad's life, and then nothing you've done will seem that bad.
Yeah, I've probably done as bad or worse.
Man, we really set ourselves up well for sponsorship.
Yeah, we did.
Speaking of our sponsors, I want to say a huge shout to Watch Communications for hosting this mess and our website. The offer still stands. If you want 10% off of web hosting for 1 month, use the code Waste of Time. Also want to shout out to Spangs Fab, CW Motorsports, Harrison Power Sports, UTV Engineering, UTV-doors.com, and TGM Off-Road. You can find us on the web at eminentperformance.com, on Facebook /Eminent Racing, on Instagram at Eminent Racing, and you can find the podcast on Google Play, Stitcher, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and the video version on YouTube.
Yep. We're everywhere.
And no matter what horrendously stupid thing you've done, thanks for riding along with us.
Thanks, guys.
I'm tired of going down, I'm tired of myself, I'm tired of this town.